My full name is Lily Thompson, and I am 36 years old. For more than a decade, I've been the person my family relies on for financial assistance. As a successful money manager, I was always willing to assist whenever they asked. Last month, I paid $18,000 to celebrate my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. But when I showed up with a $5,000 gift, my father told the security guard, "Get this stranger out of here." That night, I left quietly, but what happened next would change my life forever. If you've ever felt as if your family only wants your money, share your story below and read on to learn how I broke free from their control. Growing up as the middle child between my ideal older sister Ava and my spoiled younger brother Noah was difficult. I've always felt like I was invisible. My parents, James and Eleanor Thompson, were never afraid to admit that they preferred Ava and Noah. Ava was the most beautiful, with her shiny brown hair and bubbly personality. Every little thing she did was a big deal, with parties and expensive gifts. Noah was the baby, the only boy, and he could do no wrong, even if he got in trouble at school or broke rules. Then there was me, quiet, hardworking, and always trying to get their attention. But no matter how hard I tried, I never received the same love as my siblings. When I got perfect grades, my mom would say, "That's just what we expect from you, Lily." When I won a big math contest in high school, my dad barely looked up and asked if I could help Noah with his math homework. I learned early that I had to work extra hard just to feel seen. Things only got worse as we grew up. My parents paid for Ava's fancy private college, even though she barely passed her classes. I got a small scholarship to a state school and worked 2 jobs to pay for the rest. When I graduated with top grades in finance, no one came to my ceremony. They were too busy helping Noah move into his new place because of a family emergency. After college, I started at a small finance company, working long hours to prove myself. In 5 years, I built my own business, helping people in the tech world invest their money. By 32, I was earning more than I ever dreamed. That's when my family started calling me more often. "Lily, your dad and I are having trouble with the house payment," my mom would say, her voice sounding both bossy and needy. "Can you help us out just this once?" 1 month turned into many, and soon I was paying their whole house payment. Then Noah needed money for his first business, a taco stand he gave up on after 3 months. Then he wanted cash for an app that never got built. Then a bakery he got bored with. Ava's wedding was a huge expense. As her maid of honor, I had to pay for a big party in Las Vegas for 8 people. When I said I didn't have enough money, my mom pulled me aside. "Ava only gets married once, Lily. Do you want to ruin her day because you're being stingy?" It was clear. I wasn't really part of family events unless they needed my wallet. Last Christmas, I found out they all went on a ski trip to Colorado without me. I only saw it when they posted pictures online. When I asked my mom why I wasn't invited, she said, "We thought you wouldn't care. You're always working." But a few weeks later, Noah called because his car was being taken away. I paid $12,000 to fix it. 6 months ago, my mom called sounding nicer than usual. "Lily, your dad and I are celebrating 40 years of marriage. We want a big party at Bella Vista." Bella Vista was the fanciest restaurant in the city, known for private parties and famous guests. I looked it up later. The rental alone cost thousands. "That sounds great, Mom," I said, happy to be included. "We'll need your help with the deposit," she added, her voice turning expectant. "It's $18,000 for the private room and some food." It was a lot of money, even for me, but I wanted to be part of this big moment. "I can help," I said. "Great. I'll have the planner call you for your credit card," she said. "We're inviting about 60 people." 60? I asked, already thinking the total bill would be over $50,000. "Who's coming?" "Just family and close friends," she said vaguely. "We'll tell you more later." But they never did. Every time I asked about the party, they brushed me off. "Don't worry, Lily. Focus on your work. We know you're busy." 2 weeks before the party, I called Ava to ask what to wear. "Oh," she sounded surprised. "Are you coming? I thought you'd be too busy." "Of course I'm coming. I paid the deposit," I said, confused. "Right. Well, it's fancy black tie," she said quickly, then changed the topic. I spent the next week finding a perfect dress. A sleek navy blue one that cost a lot. I also bought my parents matching fancy watches, knowing my dad loved that brand but thought it was too expensive. The watches cost $5,000, but I wanted to see them smile when they opened the gift. The party was on Saturday, April 24th. I was nervous but hopeful this time would be different, that they'd see me as their daughter, not just a bank. I was so wrong. It was a beautiful spring day in the city, sunny and clear. I spent extra time getting ready with my hair curled into soft waves and my makeup done just right, making my blue eyes stand out. The only thing my mom ever said she liked about me. The navy dress fit perfectly, and I wore simple pearl earrings and a ruby necklace my grandma left me. She was the only family member who ever loved me without asking for anything. The gift box with the watches sat on my car's passenger seat, wrapped in gold paper with a red ribbon. Bella Vista was in the heart of the city, on the top floor of an old building with views of the bay. I handed my car to the valet and walked into the grand lobby, feeling both excited and nervous. The elevator worker nodded as I stepped in. "Private party for the Thompsons," I told him. "Top floor, ma'am," he said. At the restaurant entrance, a hostess in a sharp black uniform greeted me. Behind her, the room was decorated with beautiful flowers and soft lights. I could hear people talking and soft piano music. "Hi, I'm here for the Thompson anniversary party," I said, smiling. She looked at her tablet, scrolling through a list. Her face looked a little worried. "Your name, please." "Lily Thompson. I'm James and Eleanor's daughter." She scrolled again, looking more uneasy. "I'm sorry, I don't see your name on the list." My smile faded. "That's a mistake. I'm their daughter. I paid the $18,000 deposit for this party." The hostess gave me a sorry look. "Let me check with the event manager." As she walked away, I peeked through the doors. The room was stunning with pink flowers and gold decorations. I saw my Uncle David laughing with a drink. My cousin Mia was taking pictures by a big anniversary cake. Everyone was dressed up just like Ava said. The hostess came back with a woman in a neat suit who said she was the event manager. "Miss Thompson, there's some confusion. Your name isn't on the guest list." "That's impossible," I said, my face getting hot. "I'm their daughter. I paid for this." She nodded awkwardly. "Yes, we have your payment on record. But Mr. and Mrs. Thompson approved the final guest list, and you're not on it." Maybe there was a mix-up. People were starting to stare. I held the gift box tighter, trying to stay calm. "Can I talk to my parents, please?" "I'll see if they're free," she said, going back inside. I stood in the lobby, feeling the staff's eyes on me. Minutes passed. I saw more family arrive. Ava and her husband with their 2 kids, all dressed perfectly. Ava saw me but looked away fast and hurried inside. Noah came next with his new girlfriend. He looked embarrassed when he saw me, muttering something to her before they went in. After 15 long minutes, my parents came out. My mom looked amazing in a gold dress, her hair perfect. My dad looked sharp in a tuxedo, holding a fancy drink. "Lily," my mom said, sounding annoyed. "What are you doing here?" I stared, shocked. "What do you mean?" "It's your anniversary. I paid for it." My dad looked around, not wanting a scene. "We're grateful for your money, but this is a family-only event." His words hurt like a punch. "I am family. I'm your daughter." "You know what we mean," my mom said, sighing like I was a problem. "This is for people who are really part of our lives. We didn't think you'd come. You're always busy." I held out the gift box, my hand shaking. "I got you something special." My mom didn't even look at it. "Send it later. This isn't the time." I could see people watching us. My Aunt Mary looked worried. Ava was whispering to her husband. Noah pretended not to see. "I don't understand," I said, my voice shaky. "I paid for this party. How am I not welcome?" My dad's face turned cold. He put his drink down and waved to someone behind him. A security guard in a dark suit came over. "Please remove this woman," my dad said. "She's bothering our party." The guard looked uneasy but stepped closer. "Ma'am, you need to leave." I couldn't believe it. "Dad, are you serious?" His next word stuck with me. "Get this nobody out of here." Nobody. The word rang in my ears as the guard gently took my arm. "I'm sorry, ma'am," he said, clearly uncomfortable. "I have to take you out." I was too stunned to fight back. As I walked to the elevator, I felt everyone staring. The gift box was still in my hand. Before the doors closed, I saw my mom go back to the party, laughing like nothing happened, like her daughter hadn't just been thrown out. The elevator ride was quiet. The guard didn't look at me. In the lobby, he let go of my arm. "Your car, ma'am?" he asked softly. "I'll get it myself," I said, my voice weak. I walked through the lobby, feeling eyes on me. My face burned with shame. The valet brought my car, and I thought I saw pity in his eyes as he handed me the keys. I put the gift box on the seat, started the car, and drove away from Bella Vista, away from the family that only saw me as a money machine. The drive home was a blur. My dad's word, "Nobody," played over and over in my head, his angry face flashing like a bad movie. I made it to my apartment building, a tall modern place with views of the city's famous tower. I'd bought it 2 years ago, a big moment I celebrated alone with a glass of wine. My family never visited, even when I invited them. In the parking garage, I turned off the car and sat in silence. The gift box seemed to mock me. The fancy dress felt tight, the makeup like a fake mask. I sat there breathing, trying to understand what happened. Then I started crying, big loud sobs that shook me. My makeup ran down my face as years of being ignored and used hit me all at once. My phone rang, snapping me out of it. It was my best friend, Claire. "Hey Lily. How's the big party? Are they finally treating you like a star?" Her happy voice felt so wrong. "They kicked me out," I whispered, my throat sore from crying. "What? I can't hear you." "They had security take me out," I said louder, crying again. "What?" Claire sounded shocked. "Where are you?" "In my car. In the parking garage." "Stay there. I'm coming." 20 minutes. True to her word, Claire showed up fast. She saw me in my car, makeup ruined, and opened the passenger door. She moved the gift box and hugged me tightly. "Tell me everything," she said. So I did, crying as I told her about the guest list, my parents' cold words, the security guard, and the nobody comment. Claire's face went from shock to angry. "They're selfish, greedy people," she said when I finished. "This isn't just bad family stuff. This is abuse." "They're my family," I said weakly, like I always did, to excuse them. "No," Claire said firmly. "Family doesn't treat you like a bank. Family doesn't embarrass you in front of everyone. Family doesn't take everything and give nothing back." We went up to my apartment. Claire helped me out of the dress and into cozy clothes. She wiped off my ruined makeup while I sat quietly. Then she poured us wine and ordered my favorite pizza. "You know what's worst?" I said, looking at my wine. "I've kept track of every penny I've given them. Every loan, every gift, every bill. It's my job to keep records. But I've never dared to add it up." "Maybe it's time," Claire said softly. I nodded and opened my laptop. While we waited for the pizza, I checked my money tracking program. I had a special section called Family Help that I'd updated for years. I made a report, and the number shocked us both. $327,845.38 over 10 years. "Wow, Lily," Claire whispered. "That's enough for a house, or college for several kids, or a big retirement fund." I looked through the list. Each entry brought back memories. Noah's failed businesses, Ava's wedding and house upgrades, my parents' house payments that never stopped, doctor bills, car loans, fancy trips I wasn't invited to. "And that doesn't include the party deposit," I said, feeling empty. Then I checked my credit card and saw something that made me furious. "They're still using my card," I said. "Look, more charges from today. Extra food, $4,500. Fancy drinks, $3,200. A special cake, $800. They didn't even tell me." I opened my phone and checked social media. Ava had posted party pictures. One showed my parents cutting a huge cake I paid for without knowing. Her caption said, "Celebrating 40 years of perfect love with our close family. So lucky to have parents who show us real love." I scrolled more. Noah posted a picture of him giving my parents plane tickets. His caption, "Hawaii trip for the anniversary couple. Can't wait to hear about it." I'd paid for that trip 3 months ago, but he acted like it was his gift. Another post showed Ava's husband toasting my parents for a family trip to Disney World next month. I'd planned and paid for that trip as a surprise for my niece and nephew, but they were taking credit. "They're using my money to look good," I said, my voice steady now. "They're pretending my gifts are theirs." Claire looked at my phone, then at me. What are you going to do? I closed my laptop and put down my wine. I'm done being their bank. That night I slept better than I expected, like my body needed rest after all the pain. When I woke up, the hurt came back, but something new was there too: strength. I showered, made coffee, and sat at my kitchen counter with my laptop. It was Sunday, so my office was closed, but I texted my assistant, Mia, who'd worked with me for 5 years and knew about my family's demands. Need help with something personal. Can you come to my place at 10? She replied right away. Sure. You okay? I will be, I texted back. While waiting for Mia, I made a new spreadsheet, not just past payments but all the money I was still committed to giving my family. The list included $18,000 for the party deposit already paid, $12,000 for the Hawaii trip, booked for June, $9,000 for Ava's Disney trip, booked for May, $1,500 for Noah's new business, sent but not used, and $8,000 for my parents' golf club membership, due next week. Total, $62,000. That was more than many people earn in a year, and it was just the current promises, not the hundreds of thousands I'd already given. When Mia arrived, she saw I looked tired despite the shower and coffee. What happened? She asked, putting down her bag. I told her everything, keeping my voice calm. Mia had seen my family's endless money requests over the years, urgent calls, me dropping everything to send cash. Even she was stunned by the party story. That's awful, she said. What do you need? I want to know what I can legally cancel, I said, showing her the spreadsheet. What do I have to pay? And what can I stop? Mia got to work. She called a lawyer friend who knew family law and put him on speaker. Without names, she explained the situation. The party deposit is gone since the event happened, the lawyer said. But future bookings on your credit card can be canceled, especially with no written agreement that they were gifts. For the business money, if it hasn't been used and there's no contract, you can take it back. None of it was written down, I said. They always kept it verbal. After the call, Mia looked at me. What's the plan, boss? I'm canceling everything, I said firmly. Every booking, every payment, every future promise. And I'm documenting everything I've given them so when they ask for more, I have proof. They'll be mad, Mia warned. I know, I said. But I can't keep doing this. Last night showed me no amount of money will make them love me. Mia and I added to the spreadsheet, listing every payment by family member, year and type. We calculated interest as if they were loans and estimated what I could have earned if I'd invested the money. The total was shocking. $320,000 in payments, plus $80,000 in lost investment earnings. $400,000 total. I could have bought a beach house, I whispered. Or started a charity. You still can, Mia said. Once you stop this. We set up email alerts for when the cancellations went through. I knew my family would react fast and hard. Are you ready for them to get mad? Mia asked as we finished. For a moment I felt the old guilt and fear. My mom's tears, my dad's anger, my siblings' blame. The family ties that shaped my life, even if they hurt. Then I remembered the security guard's hand on my arm, my dad's voice saying, "Get this nobody out of here." Yes, I said, my voice strong. I'm ready. Monday morning I felt focused in a way I hadn't in years. I tackled my plan like I would a work project. First I called Bella Vista and asked for the event manager from the party. "Miss Thompson, how can I help?" she asked, sounding nervous. She remembered the scene. "I want to talk about the charges from last night," I said calmly. The bill was $23,475, including extra services added at the event. It'll process today. I only approved the $18,000 deposit, I said. I didn't agree to the extra charges, and I was kicked out of the event I paid for. There was a pause. This is unusual. What do you want us to do? I won't fight the deposit, I said, but cancel the extra charges and send the rest of the bill to James and Eleanor Thompson directly. I understand, she said. Then I had an idea. Also, make the deposit a donation to the city's children's hospital. Keep my name off it. She sounded happy. We can do that. I'll email you confirmation. Next, I called the cruise company about the Hawaii trip, a 7-day luxury vacation I'd booked for my parents. I need to cancel booking number HC123456. I told the representative. The Hawaii Paradise package for two. There's a cancellation fee for this premium trip, she said. That's fine, I replied. Cancel it and refund what's left to my card. Should we tell the travelers? No, I'll handle that. Canceling the Disney trip was tougher. I felt bad for my niece and nephew, who didn't know about their mom's actions. But I couldn't separate them from Ava's behavior. I made a note to send them birthday gift cards later. I need to cancel the Thompson family Disney World trip May 15th to 20th, I told the Disney worker. There's a 20% cancellation fee, he said. That's okay, I replied. For Noah's business money, I called my bank. The account was in my name with Noah as a user, so I could lock it. The funds haven't been touched, the bank manager said. We can freeze it now. Please do, I said. Send me confirmation. The golf club membership was simple. I'm not renewing the Thompson membership this year, I told the club office. Mr. and Mrs. Thompson will be upset, the director said. I'm sure, I replied, feeling nothing. By noon, all cancellations were done. Now I had to prepare for my family's anger. I wrote a short auto-reply for their numbers. Financial help is no longer available. All messages will get this response. I set it to start at 5 p.m., giving time for the cancellations to process. I also blocked their numbers for now, not forever, but to give me space. That evening, Claire came over with pizza and wine to support me. It's done, I told her as we sat on my balcony, looking at the city lights. Everything's canceled. How do you feel? She asked. I thought about it. Lighter. Like I've dropped a heavy load I didn't realize I was carrying. Any regrets? Not about the money, I said. But I'm sad about what this shows, that they never saw me as family, just a wallet. Claire raised her glass. To your freedom. I smiled and clinked my glass. To boundaries. Halfway through dinner, my phone started buzzing like crazy. I'd set it to silent but left it face up. Notifications piled up. Missed calls from Mom, Dad, Ava, Noah. A text from Noah. What's wrong with the business account? A text from Ava. The Disney trip is canceled. Fix it now. An email from Dad. Call me. Emergency. They kept coming, getting angrier. Wow, Claire said, watching my phone shake. That was fast. I felt calm watching their panic. They must have all found out together. Are you answering? Not tonight, I said. They need to feel what it's like to lose something they counted on. Claire smiled. You're handling this like a pro. I am a pro, I said, smiling for real. It's time I acted like it. We finished dinner, and Claire left around 9 p.m. I took a long bath, ignoring my phone. I slept deeply again, free from their endless demands. At 7 a.m., loud banging on my door woke me. Angry voices shouted outside. Lily, open this door, my dad yelled. We know you're there, my mom added. I put on a robe and looked through the peephole. My parents, Ava and Noah, stood there looking furious. My dad's face was red with anger. I took a deep breath and opened the door. What is this about? My dad demanded, pushing into my apartment. The others followed, standing in my living room like an angry mob. Good morning, I said calmly, closing the door. I guess you got my messages. Messages? Ava yelled. You canceled our Disney trip without telling us. My kids were so excited. The cruise company called, my mom said, her voice shaky with fake tears. Our anniversary trip is gone. We told everyone about it. Noah stepped forward. You locked my business account. I owe people money. You ruined me. My dad spoke over them. Fix this now. Stop this nonsense. They stared, expecting me to give in like always. In the past, their pressure, guilt, duty, my need for their love would have worked. But not anymore. No, I said. The word stopped them cold. Then they all started shouting again, louder and angrier. You're having a breakdown, my mom said. This is why you're always alone, Ava snapped. I'll sue you, Noah threatened. That money was mine. My dad stepped closer, trying to scare me like when I was a kid. Fix this or you're out of this family. I laughed. A real laugh that shocked them into silence. Out of the family? When was I ever in it? When you needed house payments. When Noah needed money for another bad business. When Ava wanted a dream wedding, that's not family. That's using me. I picked up the spreadsheet from my desk. In 10 years, I've given you $327,845.38, plus $62,000 in promises I just canceled. It's all here, every payment, gift, loan you never paid back, plus interest in what I could have earned. I handed it to my dad, who took it without thinking. They stared at the paper, quiet for a moment. "We're your family," my mom said, like that made it okay. "Family doesn't kick me out of a party I paid for," I said. "Family doesn't call me a nobody." I played a recording from my phone, my tearful voice describing that night, my dad's words clear. "Get this nobody out of here." Ava looked uneasy. Noah stared at the floor. My mom's face got hard. "You're twisting things," she said. "Your dad was upset." "You're right," I said. "I've been twisting things for years, thinking your demands were love, thinking my money made me belong. Not anymore." "So you're just cutting us off?" Noah asked. "After all we've done for you?" I looked at him. "What have you done for me, Noah?" He couldn't answer. "Here's how it works now," I told them. "No more money. No loans, no gifts, no bills. You're all adults with jobs and homes. Handle it." "You'll change your mind," my dad said. "You always do." "Not this time," I said. "I've found something better than your approval, my own respect." "You're selfish," my mom said. "After all we've done for you. What have you done?" I asked. "When did you ever support me, not just take my money?" They had no answer. They kept arguing, throwing insults, tears, and threats. I stayed calm, repeating my stance. After an hour, they saw I wouldn't budge. "This isn't over," my dad said as they left. "You'll regret this." "I regret the last 10 years, I said. "But not today." As they walked out, my mom tried one last time. "What will people think when they hear you abandoned your family?" "I don't know," I said. "What did they think when you had me thrown out of your party?" She didn't answer. After they left, I leaned against the door, expecting to feel broken. Instead, I felt peace. Their old tricks didn't work anymore. My phone pinged. I thought it was more family drama, but it was my cousin Emma. I saw what they did at the party. It was wrong. I should have said something, but I was scared. "I'm sorry. I'm proud of you for standing up." It was the first kind message from my family. I texted back. "Thank you. That means a lot." Maybe I wasn't totally alone. 6 months later, fall came to the city with bright orange and red leaves. It felt like a symbol of the clear new life I'd found. The days after the fight were hard. My family tried everything to pull me back. My dad sent emails demanding I pay them back for raising me. My mom left crying voicemails about fake health problems that vanished when I didn't reply. Noah said his business failed because of me. Ava sent pictures of her sad kids, blaming me for the Disney trip. I held strong, focusing on healing. My therapist, Dr. Sarah Lee, helped me see the patterns of control I'd missed for years. "Your family made you the money giver early on," she said. "Breaking free means keeping your boundaries, even when they push hard." And they pushed hard, sending relatives and friends to guilt me, saying my parents were heartbroken. I ended those calls politely, refusing to explain myself to people who ignored my pain for years. My work life got better without family drama. I grew my business, hired 2 new workers, and got featured in a money magazine as a top city advisor. Without constant family money crises, I had more time and cash to grow. I made new friends too through a group for people hurt by family money demands. I met Chloe, Ben, and Mia, who understood me in ways even Claire couldn't. Our monthly dinners were a place to share wins and struggles. As Thanksgiving neared, I decided to do things differently. My family's holidays were always fake. Big events I paid for but wasn't welcome at. This year, I'd host a Friendsgiving. I invited Claire, my support group friends, Mia and her husband, and some work friends. I also invited Emma, who'd reached out again. She said my parents had painted me as cold and work-obsessed for years, but my standing up to them made some family question that story. "Emma and her husband want to come," I told Claire. "And maybe my Aunt Linda, my mom's sister." "Bold move," Claire said. "Linda and Mom aren't talking since Linda called her out about the party." The Friendsgiving was amazing. 16 people filled my apartment, wanting nothing but to talk and connect. Emma brought a peach pie and stories about family secrets I'd never heard. Aunt Linda gave me an envelope. I should have given this to you years ago, she said quietly. Your grandma wanted me to pass it on after she died, but your mom said to wait until you were settled. Inside was a letter and a bank statement. My dear Lily, my grandma wrote. You've always been special, smart, kind, strong. I see how your parents don't value you. Too caught up in themselves. I'm leaving you this money in secret. Use it to make the life you want, not what they demand. I know you'll stand up one day. Susan will give you this when you do. Love, Grandma Rose. The bank statement showed a trust worth $175,000, growing for 7 years since she died. She knew, I said to Linda. She saw everything. Rose was sharp, Linda said. She knew you'd find your strength. I heard updates about my family through Emma. Without my money, their lives changed. My parents sold their big house for a smaller condo. Noah's latest business crashed without my help. Ava and her husband canceled their home upgrades. They cut me out completely, saying I was out of their wills and erasing my photos from their home. It hurt less than I thought. The family I wanted never really existed. Their love was only for what I could give. In December, my dad sent a short message, different from his usual demands. Your mom and I will be at the mall coffee shop tomorrow at 2. We'd like to talk if you're free. I talked it over with Dr. Lee. What do you want to do? She asked. I'm curious, I said. But I'm scared they'll try to pull me back. What boundaries would make you feel safe? Public place, short meeting, no money talk, I said. Good boundaries, she said. You can leave if they cross them. I agreed to meet 30 minutes, no money talk at the coffee shop. My parents looked older. My dad's usual confidence was gone. My mom's fancy clothes replaced with simple ones. I felt a tug of guilt but pushed it away. Thanks for coming, my dad said, quieter than usual. We talked about small things, weather, news, avoiding anything real. Near the end, my mom reached out. We miss you, Lily. I looked at her. Do you miss me or my money? She pulled back. My dad coughed. Things have been tough, he said. We've had to change. I bet, I said, staying calm. Your sister's kids ask about you, my mom said. Especially at Christmas. I thought of Ava's kids caught in the mess. They can call me anytime. They're welcome here without their parents. My mom's voice got sharp. My boundaries haven't changed, I said. I'm open to real relationships, not money ones. They looked at each other, a silent signal I'd always been left out of. We should go, my dad said. To me, he added, think about what family means, Lily. I have, I said, smiling a little. Every day for 6 months. As they left, I realized their hold on me was gone. Not just the money but the emotional pull. Their approval didn't define me anymore. That night, I hosted a holiday party. Claire announced her engagement. Ben shared he sold his book. Mia brought her new baby. These were my real family, people who cared about me, not my bank account. I felt my grandma's spirit. She knew I'd find this strength. Her money was mostly untouched. I used some to start a small charity for kids without family support. The rest waited for something worthy of her belief in me. Emma texted. Proud of you today. Boundaries held. Grandma Rose would be so happy. I smiled and joined my guests. The apartment glowed with lights and laughter, reflecting the city skyline. This was real family, chosen, equal, true. The journey wasn't easy. There'd be more tests and doubts. But I'd found something better than approval, myself. As the new year approached, I started planning my own future, free from the weight of my family's expectations. I enrolled in a painting class, something I'd always wanted to try but never had time for, always too busy fixing their crises. The first class was a revelation. Mixing colors, feeling the brush on canvas, I found a joy I hadn't known since childhood. It wasn't about being perfect, it was about creating something just for me. I also began volunteering at a local youth center, mentoring teens who, like me, felt unseen in their families. Sharing my story with them, I saw their eyes light up with hope, realizing they could choose their own paths too. One girl, Sophie, reminded me of myself. Quiet, eager to please, carrying too much responsibility. You don't have to earn love, I told her one day. You're enough just as you are. Her shy smile felt like a gift, a reflection of the truth I was learning to embrace. I started traveling too, not the extravagant trips my family took on my dime, but small, meaningful adventures. A weekend in a coastal town, walking along the shore, collecting shells and breathing in the salty air. A hiking trip in the mountains, where the silence of the forest felt like a hug from the world. Each trip was a step toward reclaiming my life, filling it with experiences that were mine alone. My charity grew too. I named it Rose's Hope, after my grandmother, and it began funding scholarships for young people escaping toxic family situations. At our first fundraiser, I spoke publicly about my journey, not to shame my family, but to show others they weren't alone. The room was packed, and afterward, strangers came up to share their own stories of breaking free. One man older than me said, "I wish I'd done what you did 30 years ago." His words stayed with me, a reminder that my choice wasn't just for me, but for anyone who needed courage to say no. My family didn't stop trying to pull me back. My mom sent a letter, claiming she was ill and needed help with medical bills. I verified with Emma it was another lie. Noah emailed about a new business that just needed a small loan to succeed. I didn't respond. Ava invited me to her daughter's birthday, but the invitation mentioned covering party costs. I sent a gift card for my niece directly, bypassing Ava's expectations. Each attempt tested my resolve, but with Dr. Lee's guidance, I saw them for what they were. Desperate grabs for control, not love. My extended family began to shift too. Emma and I grew closer, meeting for coffee and talking about life beyond our parents' shadow. Aunt Linda invited me to her home for a quiet dinner, where we laughed about old family stories, the good ones from before things got so twisted. My cousin Mia reached out, apologizing for staying silent at the party. "I didn't know how to stand up to them," she said. "But you did, and it's making me braver." We planned a picnic with her kids, a small step toward rebuilding family on my terms. As spring returned, a year after that awful night at Bella Vista, I stood on my balcony, looking at the city blooming anew. I wasn't the same Lily who'd walked into that party, desperate for approval. I was stronger, freer, surrounded by people who saw me for me. My apartment, once a lonely achievement, was now a home filled with memories of laughter, support, and love. Rose's Hope was expanding, with plans for a mentorship program. My painting class led to a small gallery showing, where I sold my first piece, a vibrant seascape that captured my coastal trip. Sophie from the youth center was there, cheering louder than anyone. I realized I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. My family's absence left a scar, but it was healing, covered by the new life I was building. I didn't need their love to feel whole anymore. I had found my own. Have you ever had to set tough boundaries with people who saw you as a wallet instead of a person? Share your story below. If my journey out of financial abuse touched you, please like, follow, and share with someone who needs to hear it. Your worth isn't what you give others. It's who you are. Thanks for joining me on this path.